was with Karen La Beau, who is a local artist. She's been an artist in Shreveport for 20 years. She's originally from New Orleans. She came here after what happened with Katrina. She came here, part of her family moved here, and she wasn't an artist before she actually came here to Shreveport. But after coming to Shreveport, she discovered the art community and just started to create art herself here. And a lot of her work is very reminiscent of memories and heritage, dealing with her life growing up in New Orleans and her Creole family. The cookbook that she is making is a Creole lady's stories and recipes. So she's capturing some of the memories of her life in it using her visual arts and creating putting out the recipes that she grew up with her mother, things that her mother and her family cooked. She has a lot of food heritage. Her father was uh, had his own restaurant. Her mother was in part of a very famous bakery that used to be in New Orleans. So she grew up around that culture, and she'll have a lot. You get to see that in this interview and see everything that she had to say about that. And it was a great conversation, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy. Um, During the interview, I will pause like I normally do and give you guys a short commercial break. So bear with me when we get to that point, and we'll get right back to it after that, and you finish up the interview, and I'll have a small talk with you guys afterwards, and then yeah. So all right, you guys go ahead and enjoy this one. I enjoyed this conversation. Karen is a great artist and a representative of artists here in Shreveport. Hello, I'm Brittney Hazelton, and this is ArkLaTex Artistry, where we explore the arts in our area. And today we have a guest as a local artist that is originally from New Orleans and lives here in Shreveport now, who is publishing a new cookbook. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Karen La Beau, and like Brittany said, I'm a local artist. I've been doing art for almost 20 years here since I moved here, which will be 20 years next month.
Oh, wow.
And I decided to do this cookbook of Creole lady stories and recipes. Before my mom passed, we talked about it and
Oh,
our food history and heritage coming from New Orleans. It's our love language. And we had gatherings every month with my extended family. And our lives changed after Katrina, and we weren't all in the same room.
yeah.
But I wanted to capture those memories. I wanted to capture the cooking lessons my mother gave me, which were things I didn't realize were lessons as I was growing up. And I wanted to have something tangible for my kids
Yeah.
and my grandkids,
It's
family
kind of a
heritage.
passing on
Yes,
a heritage that you're getting. By
exactly.
publishing it, you're putting it in a solid form that is that is forever,
Yes,
right?
yes, that is
And
correct.
something about those those recipes that come down generation after generation. You're
Yes,
preserving history too.
yes, and well, I will tell you the challenge was it's really true when we say, the latest thing they say is people cook and they listen to their ancestors, tell them when to
Oh
stop.
yeah,
I didn't grow up with a measuring cup and a cooking spoon, measuring spoon. So when I decided to do this, I had to figure it out. I had to go in the
yeah.
kitchen and figure out how many of cups or whatever because I was used to just cooking like that. And even conferring with my mom. Mom couldn't tell me because she didn't cook that way. You know, so
No, I'm the same way. Like, my husband would be like, how much of this do you do?" I'm just like, I don't
I
know.
have no
It's
idea.
usually just by hand, by what tastes
Right.
good and how much is right. But, for a cookbook, you gotta have all the measurements,
No, I know.
exact. And that's a whole nother level of cooking that you gotta learn there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I understand that. So Yeah, your mother. A lot. Were these recipes mostly from your mother's side, like from her family?
Yes, yes, they were. So, a little bit about my family. Again, we're from New Orleans. My grandfather was a sign painter by trade. So
Oh,
before there were flyers to say eggs are three for $1, it was that wooden placard, and he'd
yeah.
paint whatever and put the specials. But he also owned a bar slash restaurant
Oh,
before my time, so he cooked. And my mom's mom was a baker at Judice's Bakery, which is a longtime bakery that was in New Orleans. So those baking traditions were handed down. I remember my mother made a 5-layer birthday cake, and she did each layer separate and froze
oh,
them, and then took them out at the time, to
yeah.
make them. And what came easy to me was the baking. Like, I love baking. My buttercream scratch frosting is still one to be contended with,
Ooh.
but I didn't love cooking. I
Mm.
didn't love it. My mother made my sister and I, we had assigned cooking days,
Mm-hmm.
one day a week that we had to figure out what we're cooking, and I hated it.
Oh.
I did not love cooking until I had my own family. Then
Yeah.
I wanted to express my love. And then as I grew older, I realized it was my mom's way to express love.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
cooking is my love language.
You learned it from your family that that's how you love.
Yes.
That's what feeding your family. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is an expression of love, and
it
especially
is.
when you're making great food,
Yes.
that they all carry on into their lives and hopefully to their families in the future.
For sure. And so as my kids got older, I didn't force them to have a cooking day. They were adults, but I remember one holiday I said, "Well, you look in this book, my son, Scott, you figure out what you're going to cook, and I'll get the stuff." And my daughter already cooked a little bit. She figured it out. But my son made sweet potato crunch casserole.
Oh,
It's still his signature dish today. He lives in Denver. Whenever they have holiday gatherings, that's what he brings. So
oh,
I feel like I did a good thing doing that,
yeah.
and he'll call me and ask me how to cook other recipes and things like that. And again, by him living outside of Louisiana, I said, I need to give him something to reference to.
Yeah, it's definitely rough
Yeah,
living outside of Louisiana and
yeah,
then wanting to have all the good food. You got to make. A lot of
yes,
times we're picky here.
very,
We're very picky here,
very,
and
yes,
when we go outside of here, we're just like, this is horrible.
yeah, yeah.
And I think it's just ingrained in us because we're always surrounded by great food.
Yeah, and then New Orleans is it's African French and
Hmm.
the Creole mixture that
Yeah.
we come from, and so we have those Haitian cooking tendencies, and we like a lot of spice, we like a lot of seafood,
Oh yeah.
you know.
I'm actually Cajun heritage myself
Okay,
from Lafayette area,
yeah, I have
Karen
family.
Crow.
I
Yeah.
have family in Lafayette.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I grew up. It was a lot of crawfish, a lot of seafood.
Well, you definitely understand the spices. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah.
food here in Shreveport is good. There are some great, great chefs. It's
Hmm.
just a little, we cook differently. And even from Lafayette to New Orleans, they cook a little
I
differently
think
too.
I think a lot of different parts of Louisiana have its own
It's so
styles.
niche,
And
yes,
even Shreveport itself has its own unique cultural center
for
here.
sure,
It's the
for
whole
sure.
state is a unique staple. Like somewhere like Shreveport's somewhere between uh, the Cajun Creole smashed next to Texas and all that kind of comes into a area where it just merges into a weird,
Yeah,
Tex-Mex, Cajun fusion, Asian. We got a lot of Asian food too. That's great.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, I think it's a beautiful thing, though, experiencing food from different areas too.
right, right.
So you have a signing coming up for your new cookbook.
Yes, the book signing is going to be at Agora Borealis, which is on Lake Street. It will be on July 22nd,
Okay.
which is my mother's birthday. I chose that
Oh,
specifically, and it's from 6:30 to 7:30. So I'll do a little mini artist talk. I will also do a cooking demonstration.
nice,
I'm gonna pre-cook something that they can sample, and then I'm gonna cook something on site that they'll
nice.
be able to sample. And then we'll have books for sale and merch also.
Oh
This
yeah,
is what the
go ahead and
this
show
is
us
what
something.
the book looks like.
Oh, that's really pretty. I love the purple
Thank
and
you.
all the
And
crafts.
so I have my artwork in the book as well. And you can see like this one is a crawfish
Oh,
pie recipe, but I showed my blue crawfish.
oh, that's cute.
And the beauty of the book, having my artwork featured, is people don't realize it's clues to my life. So this is one that I did, and it's in the book.
Oh.
But the white chair was a chair in my mom's dining area in New Orleans. So it was a little bit of heritage.
Oh.
This one here, Tony Sachery's
Well,
is a
you
favorite.
gotta love your Tonys,
Yeah,
right?
gotta love it. So it's in the book with the okra and the CDM coffee, which is also a New Orleans favorite. This last one that I brought that's also in the book, this stove was a stove I had in my house in Highland here. And it's
Oh.
a old 1950 stove,
A
a
lot of
chamber
those
stove.
Highland homes have those old
Yes.
stoves on them.
But on
Yeah.
on the shelf here, this can here, if you're from New Orleans and you know Charlie Chips, it was a man that used to come around in a truck selling potato chips in a
Oh.
can. Now they sell them in other parts of the country, but it was weird when I did the research that never happened here or even Lafayette. It was popular in New
Yeah.
Orleans and Houston area. So I guess it's just
Interesting.
wherever their region
Yeah,
was.
it's like a regional
So
thing.
this was paired with the red beans because Mondays was laundry
Oh
day, the
yeah, the
red
red
beans, and
beans.
the Charlie chip was a clue to my past. So the book is not just a cookbook.
All right, guys. Here's a small commercial break, and we will get right back to the interview with Karen La Beau. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. All right. I'll see you guys after. Just bear with us. It will only be just a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back to the show.
It has my art in it. It's like a mini memoir art book, and not how to cook, but why we love cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, talk to you about your art. You've been doing art in Shreveport. You said you've been in Shreveport for 20 years now, huh?
Yeah, the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina is next month, so that means I got here the very last few days of August, going into Labor Day. So yeah, it'll be 20 years.
I,
Yeah.
it was a tragedy what happened there, but I think that we got amazing people here in Shreveport
Mhm.
from that tragedy.
Mhm.
Not to say it was a good thing, but
Oh, I
we're lucky to
understand. Yeah.
have you here now.
Well, none of the that I've been doing in Shreveport art wise, none of it probably would have happened because before Katrina, I always had the skill to draw, but I was a mom, I was working. Those
Yeah.
things weren't important. I never even dreamt of a professional career.
Oh wow.
But once Katrina happened, I suffered from depression. I had to figure out how to fulfill myself.
Yeah.
And so I picked up a paintbrush, and people started digging my stuff, and I started engaging in the community. And I tell people all the time, Shreveport has one of the biggest, best artistic community
They
around.
do. They do.
They don't realize it.
I didn't know about it. I think I met you around 2015 was a year that I kind of fell into the art community here. Like I accidentally did. I didn't even know it existed, and
Yeah.
I was born here. And I was like 24, 25 years old and had no idea what was going on.
Wow.
And they were just like, "Oh yeah, apply for the get on the directory." And I clicked the roster button. Next thing I know, you're a roster artist. Like I don't even know what this means. I don't even know what it means.
Yeah, and speaking of that, that's through Shreveport Regional Arts Council, which has one of the biggest arts council in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah,
And
they
they've
do.
done a lot of programs, a lot of good. We've had critics from California that have come here and said, man, what y'all have here is significant. And the
Yeah.
past few years, I've been the artist liaison at Shreveport Regional Arts Council, which is advising artists, connecting them to opportunities,
You've done a lot of good work in
being
that.
just
that,
being the
yeah.
voice, and it's become my passion that I didn't know I had. It's become my passion. So
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that we have you as a liaison, and that you can consult artists. A lot of artists need it, especially since so many don't even know about our own community here,
right,
which I feel has been a big missed opportunity for both the art community and those artists like you. Well, there's a lot of artists that we're missing out on that aren't in the public eye because they're not communicated.
and you're right,
Connected,
and yeah, and that's why I've taken it a step further. I think the end of next month, I actually will be leaving Shreveport Regional Arts Council, but because it's such a passion of mine, I'm going to be continuing to create, to consult and mentor artists. I have packages together that I will work with them, give them what they need, even down to how to set up your booth setup for an art show. A lot of artists don't
Yeah,
even
no.
understand all that goes into it, from the tablecloth to what your
It's
overall branding appearance looks like.
exactly like my friend Ryan McCutcheon. You may
Yes,
know him.
yes,
If it wasn't for him, I didn't know anything about that. And one day he's just like, "Hey, I'm vending this event in Centenary." He's like, "Come with me."
yeah,
And he's like, "Yeah, I got a table." He's like, "I put a table up for me." He's like, "You brought things, right? I told you." He helped me set it. He's like, "All right, you know how to set up your art." He's like, "You have no excuse now." And I was like, from that, I've shown a few artists on my journey too.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
how do you do this? Well, this is how you do it. Here's a
exactly.
directory. Sign up for directory. Go to the gallery events. Learn the stuff because you have to get out there and actually learn the stuff.
You do, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great source of pride though when I, just like you said, you might see somebody, you give them some tidbits, and then like years later, there's one artist particular, Cece. Her setup is beautiful, professional, immaculate, and they remember the days I was like, "What do you have going on here? You got to fix this," But they listen, and I'm glad because you want the overall appearance
Yeah.
to be professional. But I want to backtrack on Ryan. So I have these spoons that will be at my signing.
Aw,
Cooking is my love language. Ryan
that's cute.
designed them.
Really?
Yes. So he had. Well, let me
Oh.
back it up. Ron Smith designed my logo, that's the logo, and Ryan burned it into the spoon. So I
Oh,
want to
very
give them both
nice.
credit.
He has the tools.
Yes.
I call him the fabrication artist
Oh
of truth
man.
because he has the laser cutters, big machinery to
Yes.
do the really
More
big
artists
stuff.
need to know about it because
Yeah.
it's a brand game changer, right? So
Right.
I'll have these the day of the signing. So they can get books or they can get spoons, whichever they prefer to get.
Or maybe.
And this one is for you.
Oh,
So yes, I
I'm
brought this
happy
one
for
you.
that. That'll be
Yes.
great in my uh, kitchen. I'll definitely probably put it up somewhere though, so I don't ruin it. Get it burnt or something of that nature. Knowing me. Well, thank you so much. It's always nice when people think of me that way and want to give me something.
Of course.
I love
of
having.
course.
It's like having pieces of art, or when literature authors give me their books. It always means so much to me. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I mean, well, what you're doing is great, important work. It is extremely important. We're very grateful that you have this platform.
Oh,
Yes.
thank
And
you.
thank
Well,
you
what
for
you
having
do
me.
is very important too,
Thank you.
because especially these younger artists, they need guidance.
Yeah, they do.
And
I think about when I decided to become an artist, I had no idea. Google was my friend. In
Yeah.
fact, even to figure out how to do like a bio or artist statement, I literally typed in visual painter bio statements examples and just tried to fit it to what I did. I had no clue. So I kind of want to make some of that easier and take some of that legwork out for people so they can
Yeah.
get to the fun part or the good part.
Yeah, the good parts of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Creating and building your base, right? We all
Hmm.
have to. So in can you give any suggestions to new artists then on how do they get out there? How do they grow themselves? How do they get seen by in the
Yeah, well,
community?
the biggest thing is attending art events, just like you said. There's the Bossier Arts Council, the Shreveport Arts Council. But if you hear or you see on social media that an artist is having a show, coming out and
Oh
networking
yeah.
is the best thing
Oh
because
yeah.
you might not pick up anything else but hear of an event that might be looking for an artist because you went to that event
Yeah.
or you meet someone who could change your life and say, hey, yes, I want to sit down and meet with you and talk with you
Oh
about
yeah.
your art. It's really just being social, which sometimes artists don't like being social.
Yeah, a lot of artists
They
I
don't.
know,
They don't.
they're an artist and they're not social. That's
Right.
never what they thought it would require, but it does require
But someone
that.
taught me years ago, being social doesn't have to be like the art event, say if it's 2 hours long. You don't have to be there 2 hours.
No, just
You
hop
walk
in,
in, you meet a few
see the
people,
art.
greet a few people. You can walk the whole thing, circle in, and walk right out if you want.
Hmm.
But you were there. You may have made one or two connections. Being social doesn't have to be all day event.
I also find like being social in a different environment for an artist, like something where it's not related to art, is more difficult than actually going to an art event and communicating with artists and art lovers because you'd be surprised that they're so much easier to talk to.
Yeah.
Like artists and art community, like communication between artists is a different language,
You're right.
and you make a connection, and it's so much more comfortable than connecting, networking outside of that
Yeah.
field, in my opinion.
Well, and speaking of that, I do have what I call art support groups.
Oh,
So I just started one. I'm grateful for BAC. It's called Brew, Back Brew. I can't think of the
I
name
think
right
I
now.
did see the
It just
event.
happened this past Thursday. And so we're going to do it every second Thursday.
Oh,
And
nice.
basically, we just come together and talk about things that are important to artists. Or I might throw in a branding tip, how they can brand. This time I talked a little bit about how to meet your goals.
Nice.
I'm also the artist liaison at You Need a Biscuit
Oh,
Apartments. And so every third Tuesday, we do Art Talk Tuesday. The beauty of that one is we talk about something again to help us push us further into our artistry. And then we do a show and tell. If you bring a piece, you want feedback on it. So I think if artists find groups like that, I don't know how many others there
Oh,
are
yeah.
out there, but certainly if you're an artist who's self-employed and you stay home all the time, you need a reason to get out
Yeah.
and be with people and get a little bit of support. They're just an hour time commitment,
Oh, yeah.
2 hours at the most. You can do the once a month, twice a month, but it's a support group that we need,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, I know there are groups, artist groups generally, like Manifest on Tuesdays. They really have grown a lot of
yes,
artists out of that.
they
Like
did.
just that House in Highland,
Yeah.
they've grown so many musicians and visual artists. Lab Rat Arts is what kept me going, like my group Lab Rats, and so
Are you still around? Do y'all
yeah,
still-
we still are all friends.
Okay.
We're actually considering starting meetings soon now. Things are a little more. People are more collected back in the area, so we can start kicking those. We're going to start having meetings
Oh,
again.
good. Yeah, see, and that's what artists need. It cater to all ages, all types of art, and everyone, musicians, poets. I've started saying creatives instead of artists because sometimes people associate when you say artist just a visual artist, but
Yeah.
it's all art.
Oh yeah.
Even the
Food,
culinary, it's all art.
food, literary,
Yes.
poetry, music, performance.
Yes.
It's all art. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. How can someone follow you and get learn about these events that you are hosting and
Okay,
are
well,
part
they
of?
can connect with me on my Instagram, which is my name, KarenLa LaBeau, and that's at Karen for Instagram.
Very
And
nice.
if you're looking for some mentor help, it's Help Artists Thrive, and there's an underscore between helps and artists, and that's an Instagram page as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Karen, for talking to me.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed our conversation, and I hope your book signing goes really well. I'm sure people are gonna have fun, especially getting to see you cook
I'm
and
gonna try to
getting to
make it
try your
fun.
food too.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you having me here.
Oh, no problem. And it's
Yeah.
wonderful talking to you, and it's
Thank
always a
you.
pleasure seeing you.
Of course.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Okay, guys. So that was my interview with Karen La Beau. Um, her artist talk is going to be happening the 22nd, so just few days from now, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Yeah, it's going to be great. Like she said, she's going to be doing a cooking demo. She's going to have samples of some of the food already there for you to go and check out. It's a free to attend event. If you want to buy the book, buy the book. It's great to support your local artists. We always want you to support local artists if you can, because any kind of support, even if you just go to the event and taste her food and tell her how much you like it, you know, even if you just comment on her page, and how much you appreciate her and the work she does. It's all valuable. And again, she not only is an artist and a cook, but also artist liaison for currently Shreveport Regional Arts Council, but is going to be moving on to that independently soon. All right, guys. So if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, I sometimes post my personal art, and I also post um, some clips from my interviews. Sometimes I post photos from events that I've been to and talk about the experiences at local businesses. Sometimes, so a little bit of everything here, but it is mostly for my personal art pages and everything. So, yeah, you can check that out, guys. You can just look me up, Brittney Hazelton, or SYSICA. That's Sizica. That's my art name. So if you ever see that name signed on something, it's me. All right. Additionally, don't forget to check out our website, KSLA.com. And if you're on that, you can always check out my personal section on this website. Hold on. Let me pull this over so you can see. If you go here and go to the podcast, move my big head, go to the podcast section here, and then you go to Artistry right at the bottom here, and then you can check out all the articles I've written about local events or local artists, and also my videos. So I always, especially for every artistry, I always write a full article regarding the videos that I show you on these Saturdays at noon. And I write other articles even if I don't have a video, there are other articles. Like you can see here, I have the Guys and Dolls article I wrote. Um, Here's a few other things that have happened in the past, but you can still learn about, the artists. I link the artists uh, onto these articles so that you can check out their social media platforms and get connected to the art community. The more people you follow, I promise you, the more art stuff you will see, the more events you will see and know that is going on in the area. And we always have something going on in Shreveport Bossier and in the ArkLaTex in general. So remember, guys, like, follow, and share artists' work that are local. Comment and show your support to them, because that support means everything to them. And it keeps all of us artists going. It also helps us keep the community vibrant. Um, and we get involved in different ways in the community, and not just in arts. Sometimes there, artists spread information about cleanups in the neighborhoods and other things of that sort. So if you're wanting to be involved in the community in general, that's a great way to do it. All right, guys. Well, it was good talking to you. You remember you can catch me every Saturday at noon, or you can catch me Wednesdays at 11. Sometimes I have recaps of my Saturday, especially if it wasn't time sensitive. All right, guys. Take care and have a good weekend.